A face you probably recognize, David Chang, chef, TV star, entrepreneur, and DMV native with us to start the show.
That's right. Excited to be here.
So I was doing my homework, doing my Googling, and I was like, I know he's a DMV guy. I gotta see. He's probably a Washington football fan. And the first thing that comes up is in 2013, the Kickstarter that you wanted to start to raise $6 billion to buy the team from Dan Snyder back in the day. You had the price right. You were very early on that.
I knew it was six. I literally spent a long time, days, trying to calculate what would it be for Snyder to sell the team, and I literally said $6 billion. Everyone laughed at me, but
you're just a decade early.
And I wanted to sell the team back to the fans of Washington D.C. So, didn't happen.
Didn't happen, but
the witch is dead.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what I wanted to start with. Is like now he's gone. How has your fandom been affected by that? And like, are you back in? Are you all in on the Commanders as a fan again?
This is going to be a hot take, but I think for 20 plus years, I felt if you were a true fan of the team and you really hated our previous owner, the best thing you could do was actively root against them and lower the value of the team. Don't buy any merch. Don't watch any games. So, that was going to be the only way we got rid of him, and everyone thought I was crazy. So, ironically enough, a team that's also been historically bad has been the Raiders. So I would root for the Raiders because they were always
They caught you. They tickled your fancy.
Yeah, because they're like dysfunctional mad.
Yeah. No. So all right. So you're out.
I'm back in. I'm back in.
Okay.
I'm back. It was always got to get rid of Snyder.
Yep.
My concern was, nepotism. He was going to give it his kids. We were never going to get rid of him. So I got to be honest. I don't know how to feel yet with Josh Harris, Magic Johnson. I know I'm excited, but part of me, aren't you a little bit like?
I mean, I think everyone's nervous because you just assume that it's got to be better. Like, it can't be worse, but not worse doesn't inherently mean better. I'm very impressed with Josh Harris. He seems like a very smart guy who's hired very smart people, and that's definitely a change. But
we've already brought over the Sixers' game plan of trusting the process.
Yes,
we're really good at that.
Yeah. Got to have a good process.
I don't know. I read religiously everything that happens in the DC sports world, particularly the football team. I will never call them the Commanders or the previous. We need a new name.
I think that's on the table, by the way.
The team needs to go back to RFK.
Yes.
DC. It has to happen. But there's some preconditions for me to truly get back on the bandwagon.
To buy in?
Yeah.
So I'm actually very interested to talk to you. I feel like a lot of these hits are probably a bunch of wacky, goofy bits, but like you built so many restaurants, and the restaurant industry is brutal. And having good, strong organizational leadership is necessary for success. So I'm actually genuinely curious, like in your restaurants at Momofuku and all the different restaurants and brands that you've helped build across media and in the food and restaurant industry, like what are some of the common things that hey, the Commanders are going to have these types of structural kind of stability points in order to succeed?
Well, having been a terrible manager of people and been corrected and still trying to get better, I think the thing that we need to do that did not happen in previous regimes is, letting other people make decisions and not micromanaging. And if we make a mistake, let's not make the same mistake twice. And for years, we would make the same mistake. How many years did we win the offseason Super Bowl?
Endless offseason Super Bowls.
I have so much PTSD that I'm legitimately expecting the team to sign Jeff George as a backup quarterback.
I mean, it could happen. He's got to be, in his 50s at this point.
He's still got a hell of an arm.
Yeah, I mean, certainly does. But I think that's interesting, too, because, they just hired Dan Quinn as the head coach, and a lot of the fans are like, meh. And I'm like, that's a new feeling for you.
Yeah.
That's a new feeling.
I'm also meh, part of me is he's coming from the Cowboys, and I don't know how I can root for
a guy who was with Dallas.
You can't. I got to be honest. I was super hyped about Ben Johnson, but now I hate his guts because how rude of him to not even take the damn interview. What a jerk.
Yeah. It's weird because talking to NFL people about him, it's like he is one of these like incredibly hyper-focused guys, and it's like he lost and he realized like, oh, right, I have the most important job interview of my life tomorrow. I don't want to do that. And it's like that's not great,
Can I tell you my prediction of Ben Johnson?
For sure.
And Ben Johnson, you
what if I was
never
just like,
hear this?
no, David, well, you can't?
I feel like, because they look sort of similar, I think the career path for Ben Johnson is going to look eerily similar to Adam Gase.
That is terrifying if you're Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, that press conference.
Well, listen, all that bad mojo, the I'm just saying, like, by spurning the interview, maybe we wouldn't have hired you.
Maybe. I think that's part of the problem.
But the football gods are now with us, and they've just turned him into Adam Gase.
Sucks for you, Ben Johnson. You're now Adam Gase. ESPN's Dan Graziano later in the show with more on that as well. All right. You have the new show out on Freeform with Chrissy Teigen. Now, actually, it just came out. If you could have any athlete sit down with you guys to be on the show, who would it be?
It's still Shaquille O'Neal, but can I be honest, man? We were doing the Amazon Thursday Night Football. I got to be with Doug Williams and Darryl Green. That was the coolest. At Ole Ebbets, that was the coolest thing. Top 5 coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. What, Darryl Green, the best.
Those guys both are tremendous storytellers.
Amazing.
Which is really what, like, the show. I mean, the show's about food. The show's about community. The show's about whatever Chrissy says when she's drunk, which is, you know, frequent. I've actually had Chrissy on the show twice back in college for me, like 10 years ago, and we had her on the second time, and we go, "Do you remember the first?" And she goes, "No."
Well, she's sober now, and she was filming. She was very pregnant.
More?
Yeah. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of good food. And, we have that on Hulu. And we also have a show on Netflix called Dinner Time Live.
What's that one about? Because you had Ugly Delicious forever, which is so phenomenal. Any similarities there or different concept?
Totally different. I'm literally cooking Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live for guests. Okay. And it's no one's helping me out. There's no commercial breaks. You're
like right now. We're just live to the wolves.
Live, exactly, and it's tough. But I'm excited to be here. This is my first Super Bowl. I've never seen the media like this. And besides the Super Bowl, there's also a huge event that's happening in the world, and that's Lunar New Year.
Uh-huh.
And Toyota's given us and me the opportunity to host a tailgate challenge that's happening in a couple hours, I think.
Someone will tell you. You'll be there.
And I got to pit 2 of my friends, 2 of the best chefs. If you get a chance to go visit La Cita in Los Angeles, Nico De Leon is making a chicken sandwich, and we have Brandon Jew of San Francisco, one of the best restaurants and 2 of the best chefs, and they're going to have this chicken off.
Tailgate chicken off?
Yeah.
Nice. You get to pick one dish to make for a Super Bowl party. What's your dish?
I got to say, and this is... People don't love it when I say this. I'm a big fan of a 7-layer dip.
Really? That is not the direction I would have guessed. But I
you know why?
It's not bad.
You can make it early, and it's going to be good for like 7 hours too.
7 hours, 7 layers.
Problem is, as much as fried chicken wings are hard to do because they got to be hot. Nothing more.
Yeah. No, that's.
So I doubt you're going to have a host that's constantly cooking chicken wings throughout the hour.
Right. You got to watch.
And if they do, you should. Put a ring on that person, guy or girl.
David Chang with us on behalf of Toyota. David, appreciate you, sir. When we get back, Noah Eagle, he's calling the Super Bowl for Nickelodeon. He joins us next.
What's up, kiddos? It's your boy Clinton Yates from ESPN. It's the Hoffman Show on the Team 980. Tell your mama I said what's up.